Hi, welcome to our podcast, Above Deck, a below deck breakdown podcast. I'm Sarah Goldman, a photographer and former marine biologist living in Charleston, South Carolina, but currently I'm in a friend's basement in Washington, D.C. And with me is my college roommate and co-host, Kelly.
I'm Kelly Busby, an executive assistant, former radio host living in Columbus. Together, we hosted the Fox Campus radio show on WFAL in Bowling Green, Ohio. And we are fresh back from Bravo class to discuss Below Deck and our love of all things Bravo.
Every week, we recap an episode of Below Deck, share a few laps with the captain and crew, and discuss what's new in the Below Deck universe.
Today, we'll be discussing Below Deck Red's Season 8, Episode 8, Who Needs Frenemies?
Here's your recap. Sandy's wrist is fractured, and so is the interior team. Chef Jack takes a shot with the guests, and Toomey encourages him to tell the captain. Kyle reaches a breaking point, and Jess has a revelation about who is stirring the pot. The charter guests party with the crew, and Lara kisses all of them. Kelly, what'd you think?
This was a very busy episode.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot more of that she said, they said.
Yeah.
But it was the ending was pretty fun. Lara had a great
time. Yeah, she did. Gotta like a night out.
Yeah.
So the episode begins with Kyle yelling at Jess. I'm not even sure what it's about at this point. And Jess is like, WTF? Kyle is then venting to Toomey about it. And Toomey says, moving forward, we should talk to people directly. You think? Like, yes, let's do that.
Everyone has such high tensions right now, and emotions are running strong, and it's just not good. And it's just really, that's all there is. It's just not good.
Yeah. So Sandy is headed to shore to get her wrist looked at after her fall.
Did you notice the guests lounging on the deck, nursing their hangovers on the inflatable from the pool party the night before?
Yeah.
That is my kind of morning. Like, that would be on my preference.
Yeah, I want to lay around on a raft.
Just sunglasses, big hat.
Mm-hmm. Sunshine. Sounds great. So the guests go check in with Jack in the galley, and he says he's going to make homemade tortellini, and they're all over him. They're like, oh my gosh, seriously. And then they want him to join for dessert he's going to make a chocolate mousse. And about this time, Max wanders in, and they ask him to show them where the crew mess is. And so they go see that, and then they want to go see his room, and they find that he's reading a book about dropping anchor, and they pick it up and they're giggling about it. And he even has passages highlighted.
Post-it notes, smart pages.
Yeah.
So what is it with the guys on these boats?
Oh, yeah.
Alex, and Alex had like volume 2 or something. But maxed out, they're repeating or just having these how did that about that on board, you know, that they're like trying to improve upon their craft.
Yeah.
I'm hoping, or I hope it's just not like a how-to for them.
Yeah, let's hope that's not it. He said it was some kind of like tantric or I don't know what it was. Some kind of, I don't know. But I think it was more advanced than dropping anchor for dummies. Yeah, back to basics. It's an anatomy book. So now it's jet ski time. These girls are like kids in a candy store. They're like, show us your room. Let's go on jet skis. Come join us for dessert. Where's the galley?
Oh, it's fantastic. They're all over the place.
So Jess tries to talk to Kyle and just to kind of tell him, you know, he took things the wrong way. And he's doing some very angry vacuuming in the hallway, and he's just too emotional to talk right now. And so she's upset. She goes to Toomey, and she's crying. And then I love when Lara walks up and she says, when you're done, can we get some lychee martinis? When you're done crying. I don't know. Not like what I saw Kyle doing. What about you?
I used to always angry clean the kitchen. Like, I had a really clean kitchen.
Yeah. I'm usually angry when I clean the kitchen because I'm about the only one that cleans it. So yeah, I feel you on that. So Toomey talks to Kyle in the cabin, and her plan is to have Jess on service tonight, and then Kyle can clean cabins with Natalya. That way they aren't together the rest of the day.
Yeah. So Jimmy also told him he needs to talk to her nicely.
Yeah.
I think it's a smart idea, and just keeping everybody separate, just mixing it up a little bit too will give everybody a breather or change your pace or something.
Yeah, and that's what Kyle wanted. He wanted to have Jess on service, so he didn't have to be. So maybe everybody gets what they wanted. I don't know. So the crew is preparing for the casino night, and the deckhands are taking the guests on a booze cruise. And Luca and Max wear these black vests with nothing underneath for the booze cruise, and the girls have a great time.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yes. Can we do this?
Yeah, let's add booze cruise with cute deckhands to our preference sheet.
The tender may have been just a little bit small because it had Luca and Max and Jessica, and then all of the guests.
Yeah.
Didn't even care. Like, they were loving it.
Yeah, they were having a great time.
They were fun.
So Sandy gets back from shore. It turns out her wrist is fractured.
Luca says to have her attitude, which is a great attitude, back. You know, she's a boss. I'm like, yeah, she is Luca. She is a boss.
She's your boss.
Your boss, but she's also a boss.
Yeah. Kyle was wearing that orange wig, and he was like combing it really straight. And who did he look like? To me, it was like Pollyanna, maybe Chucky.
Yeah, I was even thinking like something like a doll from the 80s, like Star Brite.
Yes, Rainbow Brite. Was it Rainbow Brite? Yes, that's who it was. She had the very straight bangs across. Yes, I was trying to think of what toy that was that he looked like.
Rainbow Brite.
Okay, we're gonna have to
Star Brite,
Rainbow Brite, first light I see tonight. We'll put them like side by side.
Yes.
We'll have to see. Okay, remind me. Okay, so I love when the primary Amanda is at the dinner table with everyone, and then she looks over her shoulder and she talks to no one to remind them that the chef is having dessert with them, and like that was just so funny.
Amanda is living her best life.
She is.
That for her. That's amazing. Doesn't care. She's just like, somebody will hear me.
Yeah, she's like, excuse me, but nobody's there. So good. So Jack joins them, and they want him to do a shot. And they're like asking Toomey if he can do it. And she's like, no, it's not allowed. And then one of the guests gives him one of their shots, and Toomey sees him take the shot.
Can't be good, can it?
No, I mean, at least he's the chef, and he's, he just has to clean up and go to bed at this point. But, that's the rule. Like, no drinking on charter. That goes for everybody.
So I have an idea the next time this happens, because it'll happen.
Yeah, probably.
It should be something like some sort of unwritten rule or understanding that if somebody from the crew is sitting with the dinner guests, like Jack was, and they want to order a round of drinks, then whoever's preparing said drinks prepares a virgin, alcoholic one, gives it to them, and just rolls with it.
Exactly. And then that doesn't, make it weird. It's just like they just keep on partying. That's a great idea. Yeah, that should totally be a thing. So after a half an hour up there with the ladies, he goes back to the galley to clean, but they invite him to hang out with them during casino night. And Natalya set up a lovely party as usual.
Oh, it was awesome. And it looked a lot like some of the casinos we saw when we were in Vegas. It was fun and colorful, and table games that really nobody understands how to play.
No, at least they were playing with chips and not money.
Yeah, that's true.
So Toomey tells Jack that he needs to tell Captain Sandy about the shot because she will find out. And if there's anything we've learned, it's that she has eyes everywhere.
I agree with
Sandy knows everything.
It's the right thing to do.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, like, what would I do if I were in that situation? I think I would, if Toomey hadn't seen me, I'd be like, like, I'm not going to tell anyone. But yeah, she's right. Like, the guests could totally say something.
And
like
slip of the tongue kind of thing.
Yeah.
Them in trouble, but
yeah, I think we saw that on another show. So Kyle and Toomey are cleaning up, and Kyle starts to feel dizzy, and he has to sit down on the floor. So Toomey runs. I thought she was going to go get like the first officer, like Captain Sandy. She gets Lara, and they put a cold towel on his head. All of a sudden he's crying. He says he's just tired of everything. The drama is just really getting to him. And It's like that thing when you're upset about one thing and then you can think about 10 more things that'll make you cry and you just need like a really good cry.
Yes.
It
just all comes out.
It just all comes out. And so when he gets in bed, he texts the group chat for the other stews and he thanks Toomey and Natalya for taking care of him. And then he says something like, I can no longer keep personal matters from anyone or something like that. I did not know what he meant.
I don't know either. The whole situation was super scary. I don't know if you've ever had one, but a panic or an anxiety attack like that, it's a horrible feeling.
Yeah.
It's scary. It's horrible. I am super surprised they didn't go and get Sandy. I also feel like that's the right thing to do. But
yeah,
it's okay. And maybe he just needed an extra bit of sleep or whatnot. But the text at the end of the night was weird. And I don't really know what to think.
Yeah, I didn't really read into it anything. I was just like, whatever.
He was just like, I'm tired of hearing everything. I mean,
yeah,
we all are, dude. Like,
yeah,
fine, but
we've been seeing it for weeks.
Probably, to be honest, shouldn't have said anything because he wasn't feeling his best.
Right.
Totally
just go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Go to sleep. Timmy and Jack were talking in the couch or in the bed.
Mm-hmm.
You notice what was behind Jack on the counter?
No.
Over here.
What was it?
It was a picture of 2 kitty cats.
Nice. The cats that Natalya photoshopped. Oh, that's so funny. I love that. So the next day, Nat and Jess discuss Kyle's text. Natalya kind of brings it to her attention because she didn't see it. And Natalya says Kyle was taking a dig at her. Like, that's what he was trying to say. And I was thinking, am I missing something? Like, help me understand.
I didn't read it like that. I mean, why would she say that? It was so such an umbrella statement.
Yeah. I thought it was strange. Well, Natalya explains that in the text, Kyle acknowledged her and Toomey for helping him, but then he reached his breaking point, aka Jess drove him there. That's taking some liberties, I would think.
Yeah, I mean that's creative licensing right there.
Yeah. So then I don't know. So then Jess and Toomey talk about Kyle's text. And by the way, how did I end up back in the weeds with all these stews? I said I was just going to move on, but the whole episode, here we are again. So I did pause the TV to read the text. Did you do the same thing?
Yeah. And it was basically like, I don't feel well. I'm tired. I'm done.
Yeah. Poop emoji.
Right.
So the one above it said, also, I'm going to ask to be back on service as the timings don't permit any other way.
Yeah.
Kyle just wants everything his way all the time. He's like, I don't want to be on service. Now I'm going to have to be back on service. Though, I would like to see him as a chief stew and just to see how he works in that role. Like, that would be interesting to me.
I think that's a really good call. And I think what we need, you and I need, is like a chart of who said what to who, when, about what.
Ugh.
So I tried to put like a Venn diagram together. And it was
just like this.
But it's just, I mean, just to keep it straight, it's just so she said this about this, and then you said this about that, this, that.
I just had a thought that this thing we just did, that's totally going to be what they pull out for our YouTube stills for social media.
What did they?
Okay, so Toomey tells Jess that the text was not directed at her, and she kind of explains what happened the night before, and Toomey's trying to run damage control, like this whole charter.
I think she's doing a great job with
it. Yeah, she is.
Everybody's just trying to work, but the other three, all 4 of them. Really,
yeah.
All 6 of them now are trying to stir stuff up because Lord get healing involved.
Mm-hmm. So Kyle tells Jess he wants to talk to her after the guests depart. They have a great docking, and the guests depart.
The dockings, even in these super tiny slips, are the calmest part of this entire.
Wow. That says something about these deckhands in bosun for sure. So Jack goes to talk to Sandy, and he tells her that he had a shot with the guests the night before, and she immediately says, pack your shit. And I was like, oh my God. I was so scared, but she was just kidding. That's a crazy thing to joke about.
That's cool, Sandy. That's cool. I mean, you just, like, right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. He goes, all right. And she's like, no. But she says she admires him for telling her. And to me, you're right. You're right. That was the right thing to do.
She says she really liked
him. Yeah. Yeah. But man, she scared the crap out of me. I know he was scared too. I was like, did not see this coming. He's going to get fired. So Jess and Kyle go clean cabins together so they can talk.
And before that, I don't know if you heard that Toomey asked Jess if she felt safe doing this.
Yeah.
And she said she did. However, at first it was not completely convinced that she was.
Yeah, I'm like, and then Kyle closes the door. I was like, oh no.
Close to her meeting. They were good.
Yeah. So Jess is realizing that Natalya is the one stirring the pot. They kind of like show all these different clips. And Kyle is obviously trying to get Jess on his side and against Natalya. And Jess thinks that Natalya is the core problem with the stews. And they both apologize to each other and all is well.
I did feel like their apologies are genuine to each other. I also worry though, because the fact that Kyle told Jess to watch what she says and what she takes away from that, it's all going to come back.
I know. And it's like, I agree Natalya's part of the problem, but she's not all the problem. There's a lot of personalities, mostly Kyle and Natalya, that are adding fuel to this fire.
Absolutely.
So the tip meeting, Sandy says they all did great. And when she had to be away, especially, and since they've been doing so well, she took on another charter tomorrow. It's a 24-hour turnaround. And they just stare at her. Oh, just kidding. Sandy, she's on a roll. Just such a jokester, this charter.
That's right.
So the owner has arranged for a day off for them. I love a crew day off.
Crew day off. This should be really interesting, though.
Yes, it should. So that night is a crew night out.
Did you notice where they went for dinner?
Like right across the dock from the boat.
I mean, that's fantastic. And I think the bar will keep it down that way too. So they
can
easy stumble home.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Kyle and Jess say how happy they are that they're back in a good place. And Natalya's watching the whole thing. And is it just me, or is she upset that her plan to cause problems between them didn't work?
Yeah.
No. And then in her green screen, she's upset about the three best friends down there at the end of the table. And she's texting with her boyfriend, and then she goes back to the boat.
And she's ignoring Luca, which was weird.
Uh-huh.
I think she's realizing that the three of them are working on trying to make the relationships work, even if it's just for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
She's on her own island, just trying to tear everything down. She just needs to.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's weird.
Yeah.
So the charter guests show up at the bar that they go to, and Natalya sees them since the boat's right there, or hears them, and she comes back to hang out with everyone. And she has taken a notice that Luca's not really interested anymore. And so Jess and Luca go to the bathroom to talk, and she asks him about Natalya, and he says too much baggage.
All while Toomey is eavesdropping.
Yeah.
Her face was classic.
Yeah, that was really funny. So Max kisses charter guest Lenny. Okay. Lara kisses Carly, I think. And then this is where the editors start a kiss counter. And Laura, at first I wrote she kisses two more, and then she kept kissing more people after that. So Laura kisses the rest of them, and she said that straight girls cannot resist her. And Max tells Lenny that they are Romeo and Juliet 2.0. Oh my God.
I agree with Laura. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Pretty attractive young woman.
Yeah, she's beautiful, and she's so fun.
Yeah, super fun. I do not agree with that. Don't throw that Romeo and Juliet BS at her. That story ended horribly.
It did not end well for either of them. Jeez. So back on the boat, Kyle tells Max it will never work out with Lenny. And I was thinking, why does he have to crush him? Like, they're drinking, it's a night out. Like, who cares? They may never see each other again, but, who knows?
It was so uncalled for on Kyle's part. No one No one told him that about Frank.
Exactly. Everyone was very supportive of Frank.
It's cheered for him.
Yeah, exactly. So now all of a sudden, Max is arguing that straight people are part of the LGBTQ plus community. And Kyle is like, no, you can be an ally, but you'll never be part of it. Yeah.
This is a very sensitive topic for members of the community. And I think Max's heart was trying to be in a good place.
Yeah.
But the timing and the approach were not good.
Yeah, I think he was just trying to fire back when Kyle said, you know, it's never going to work out with what's her face.
Yeah.
So strange. So Natalya's getting involved, and then suddenly this fun night is not so fun. And Kyle accuses Natalya of being fake and not being his real friend from day one. You know, he loves to say that. And we end with a to be continued.
That was a really challenging episode to watch, but I took like 4 pages of notes on it. So there was so much, like the whole,
yeah.
So anyway, let's take a quick break and we'll come back with Hot Tub Convo. It's time for Hot Tub Convo, where we discuss what's happening with our favorite Below Deck cast members.
We have a listener comment, which I'm going to keep anonymous.
Okay.
I'm having a change of heart about Captain Sandy. Even though I'm still and always will be Team Hannah, I never lost sight of the fact that Sandy is a great captain. To see her mentor the crew is something the other captains haven't really taken a complete vested interest in, and she does. So this,
great point.
Yeah, it is a good point. So this person, and I know they are not alone in this, some people have never liked Captain Sandy after she fired Hannah and just haven't really watched Med on principle. And I'm glad to see that this person is watching this season again. And she really does take crew members under her wing and give them opportunities to drive the boat, to drop the anchor, to like, it's true. She's a great leader.
She is. I love that she lets everybody have a chance. And it doesn't matter if you are the bosun or like the 4th deckhand, like everybody gets a chance. That's huge. That means a lot to everybody.
Yeah.
So I think that's great too. Thank you for,
yes,
Captain Sandy. Thank you so much for continuing to watch.
Yeah. Thanks for your comment.
Yeah. Captain Glenn was at the airport in London and he saw Matt Hagley.
Max.
Yep. Thank you. But he saw Max Hagley, deckhand from Below Deck Med season 1. They both recognized each other and had a nice little chat. How fun.
I thought this was cute because he said they were both kind of looking at each other like, I know you from somewhere. So I love when there's a crossover like that and people meet up out in the real world. So Bryce Sanders interviewed Natalya at BravoCon, and he asked her, what's the vibe between you and Kyle right now, like at BravoCon? And she said, if Kyle was on fire and I had a glass of water, I would put sea monkeys in there and watch them grow. I know.
Super specific.
Yeah, it's very specific.
Wow.
I know. And then the best part of this is then you hear Luca in the background laugh and say, how do you even come up with that? So if there's any question as to where they stand, there it is.
That's pretty clear.
Yeah.
Okay. We've recently learned that Captain Jason has a YouTube channel. So if you need more Captain Jason out in their life, and he does it, check them out at Captain J Chambers on YouTube.
Yes, I dove into some of these videos. He has a bunch of little short clips and then longer ones and diving stuff, like wellness stuff, just all the things he's into. So
Aww.
I love it and definitely want to support him in that.
Absolutely.
It's time for our segment, Join Me in the Wheelhouse, where we decide who needs to see Captain Sandy for a stern talking to. Kelly, who gets your vote?
I want to send all the students up because they won't stop talking about each other, but I'm going to make it fun. I'm going to call Captain Sandy a little stinker with her practical jokes.
Yeah, that's a good one. Those are scary jokes. I mean, what if her wrist isn't really broken? What if she just put that thing on and she doesn't really have a fractured wrist? That would be pretty funny, actually. But no, I think it is fractured. I mean, they showed the picture. Man, she really is a jokester this episode.
Oh, yes. Love it, though.
All right, Sandy, get up here and talk to yourself. All right. Well, that's it for this week's episode of Above Deck. Thank you to our team at Hurrdat Media, especially Grace, Pat, and Danielle. Please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Don't forget to tell a friend, and please rate and review us. We'd love your 5 stars.
And please follow us on Instagram at abovedeckpod. Sarah has some amazing content on there, not just for Bravo content, but all year long. So be sure to check it out. You can also email us at abovedeckpod@gmail.com. Don't forget, this is cool too. You can watch us on the Hurrdat Media YouTube channel. That's spelled Hurrdat Media YouTube channel. So check it out. Let us know what you think. Until next week, I'm Kelly Busby.
And I'm Sarah Goldman. See you next time.